Hi students, Dr. Jacob here, and I'm really sorry that we're unable to be together. However, I believe this video should be able to get you started on how to string up your violin. Now, if you haven't picked up your strings yet, you're more than welcome to come by and pick them up, or you can just give us a call or send me an email or Mr. Young an email, and we'll make sure that those strings get shipped out to you. We also have your violin books as well, so those are in. We can send that out to you as well. Now, in order to string up your violin, you're going to need your neck piece, you're going to need your fiber rod, you're going to need your pegs, obviously, and a ratchet with a socket that's 10 millimeters. So a 10 millimeter socket is what I found to work best for me, and you're going to need a hammer. So first thing you're going to do is hopefully, and I'm just using sample parts, but hopefully you've already smoothed the surface of the neck of your violin. If you haven't already done so, you can remove the raft off of where it was printed, so that's nice and smooth for you. And then what you're going to do is you're going to add the pieces that hold the strings. And so you're going to take these pegs and you're going to put them through. And what we're going to do is on the violin, and I'll remove this raft so it's not really in the way. A little bit there. You'll see that there's some supports on it. But so this is going to be the front, and we know that this is the front of the violin because you can see the areas where the holes of the strings are going to go. And in order to place these pegs are going to go from the back. And you're going to see that what we did is we were able to sand down a little bit of the metal on that peg just so it'll fit perfectly on that neck. And so you're going to put one of your pegs on, and they're going to line up perfectly with the neck. And in order to show you what the finished product will look like, you're going to see right here that will line up all those pegs perfectly. Now, if your 4 pegs do not line up perfectly and you can't figure out why, it could be that I accidentally didn't count your pegs properly and make sure that your 4 would line up. So I apologize if that's the case, and we can fix that. That's not a problem. But just let me know. Again, just send me an email and we can address that. So you're going to put your peg from behind, and then you're going to take the nut to it and put it in there. Give it a twist to get started. And then get your ratchet. And I like to do it by hand a little bit until it gets too tight. And give it a get it nice and firm on there. Now keep in mind, you're not making this part firm, you're just making sure that piece is on there nice and firm on the neck. Now keep in mind, it is plastic, so I don't suggest that you take it to your dad and have your dad really ratchet down the piece on there, but you can ratchet it down pretty tight so that it's nice and firm. And you're going to do that to all 4 so that all 4 have that section exposed onto your neck. Then you're ready to start stringing. So in order to string, what we're going to do is, and I'm going to take a demo piece here. This is probably the most challenging part, is the actual stringing. And the one that I suggest that you always start with first is the A string. And your A string is going to be black. So it is the black string. When you look at the end, you're going to see the black on the end, and that is the first string that we're going to start with. And what you're going to do is you're going to notice that one end is black, and then the other end has this brass piece at the end of it. That's the stopper. And you're going to feed this black end up through this hole right here, the A string area, and you're going to feed it all the way through until it comes out the smaller hole. Now, paper clips sometimes work. Another thing that I did is I used actually some soldering wire because it was a lot thinner. And I was able to feed that through and tape it up to the soldering wire and pull it through. So let me put this video on hold and let me get one strung up so that you can see it. So you can see what I did here is I was able to get some of that soldering wire through, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape up the black piece of the string so that I'm able to pull it all the way through. And notice in that demo, what I did is not only did I feed it through, but I was also pulling on it at the same time. So you are going to have to be very patient with this part. It is a little challenging to get it fed through, but just think about the fact that you only have to do it once for each string. And so you can see that I have the A string there, and I'm going to pull it all the way through until it gets caught with the brass piece at the end. And there you go. You can see that's where it gets caught, and then you leave the piece fall, and then go ahead and do the other strings there next. So I would go to the D string, and then the G string, and then lastly the E string. Just know that your G string is your thickest string, so that one will be probably the most challenging, and it goes on the first hole. For the next step, what you can do is you can pop on your neck, but do not put this piece down yet. I think that what you'll find the easiest thing to do is to next string your neck and then put your piece, your final rod piece down through the center there. So I found that stringing up the A was the easiest to start off with. And again, you're going to string it in a clockwise manner on the right hand side of the neck, and then you're going to string it in a counterclockwise manner on the left hand side of the neck, as you can see I did right here. And really it's just a matter of feeding your string through just a little bit, and I'll show you here. And just disregard the color because this is just a demo. But you're just going to feed the string through, up through here, obviously up through this part of the neck. So make sure it goes underneath there. You see those holes right there, so make sure it goes through there. So pretending this G string is an actual G string. You're just going to feed through just a little bit there, so you have a little bit of a tail, and then you just start twisting. And so I'm going to start twisting, and my goal is to make sure that that string stays caught and feeds and wraps around over the top of that tail so that it really holds that tail down and starts to tighten over top of itself. And as long as you keep your fingers tight and as long as you just keep winding it up, you'll notice that it will start to work and it'll start to get very, very taut. And then what I'll show you is a nice simple tuning app in order to get it in tune. But don't forget to feed the strings through the neck here, through that hole that's there, and then take your time to put those through. And then the final step will be to put your rod all the way through here, very, very gently. Your rod's going to go all the way through, and then obviously it'll go all the way through the violin hole that's listed there as well. So those are going to be the steps in order to string up your violin. Be patient with the strings. I know that it can get challenging. I know it can get frustrating. Mr. Young and I were going through that process as well. But be patient. and try to feed it as much as you are pulling on it, and I think you'll notice that it'll work out really well for you.